Shalom Makim, Wagwaf. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rachakwadash. Give honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone, the bishops also of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And it was just another impromptu, just leaving the plantation, but I was wanting to speak on, why you should now understand, why the elders, the bishops, the apostles, all the Akim and great millstone, now you should understand why we never was with that whole unity camp BS, especially with this, this latest controversy dealing with the topic of the MOTB. As you can see, various groups, teaching madness, and now, once again, we got to get on their bumper. The scriptures say to rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. And I don't know how long we've been having to rebuke these guys, but it appears that, it's falling on deaf ears. And a lot of these guys got a lot of pride on them, So, sinful man is not going to be reproved, but find an excuse according to his will. So all we can do really at the end of the day is, be blameless and wash our hands, with the situation. All right. It's becoming more obvious, what it is. The MOTB is apparently clear. They know what it is, man. But, the Lord got them, whether they sold out or whether the Lord got, spiritual blinders on them. But you see why, we didn't come together with these dudes, because eventually at some point, the topic would have definitely came up. Let's say if, members of Great Millstone attended some of these unity camps that they were throwing, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, and that topic happened to come up, how would it have been true unity? Because then a consensus would have had to go around on whether the MOTB is the CHIP or if it's anything other than that. And based on that alone, we wouldn't have been able to come together. Amos 3:3, could two walk together lest they be agreed. Apostle Paul, he made sure he written in his letters multiple times that we're supposed to speak the same thing and that there would be no division among you. He said, when you hear a doctrine contrary to what you have learned, mark that individual and avoid them. Have no dealings with them, because that do such, they serve not our Lord, but Yahweh, but they serve not our Lord Yahushai with their own belly, and through good words and fair speech deceive the hearts of the simple. Like that latest video that we all did responses on with the IUIC speaker. You got to be an idiot to have heard that and think that that's sound advice. As a true watchman, as a true shepherd. Creating gray areas when the enemy is coming down the pipe. He's coming with his snares and his nets, his traps, and you leading them away with the snares of the workers of iniquity, man. So, it would have went nowhere if we, attended these unity camps. None of those unity camps were in the spirit. Because everybody's teaching a different thing, especially in regards to the Charagma. All right, Zabak still in his shenanigans. He still ain't, crossed over. Still playing games. ISUPK, just forget it. All right, they got at least a doctrine for every day of the year on what the MOTB is. There's 1 minute is sleeping with the Edomite woman. Then it's joining the police force, joining the military. Then it's if you pledge allegiance, with your right hand, you got the MOTB. There's all type of just madness. A bunch of filler, a bunch of leaven, man. All right, a bunch of a bunch of grease. All right, the Lord ain't dealing with that, man, and that's why it's up to brothers and sisters. You got to determine, who's teaching the truth and who isn't. That's where the discernment comes in. And when you read Malachi the 3rd chapter, the last couple verses, it says, "Then shall they discern between who serve the Most High and who don't." And it's all by the process of elimination. That's why the scriptures say to try the spirit by the spirit, whether they be of the Most High, because many false prophets are going out into the world. And if you're of the Lord's chosen, you're going to choose correctly, man. Because you're going to be like the church of Berea, where you're going to, search and seek. You're going to search to see if through the scriptures, if it is so. And a lot of these other followers of these other groups, they're lazy-minded, so they don't do that due diligence. So, they're them being naive and not grounded in the scriptures, they just go, for everything that's being said. That's why the apostles always stress, don't be a parrot, don't be a mockingbird. All right, search these scriptures out, man. Do your thorough investigation. See if, does it really link up? Does it match up? Like through the process of elimination, and we always did this when it came to the MOTB topic, because we know the primary function of the MOTB is you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have it. And if you're teaching that the MOTB is sin, then you're saying that in order for you to not buy and sell, you got to be without sin. So we all buying and selling. So that means that we can conclude just off of that we all sin. But what does that have to do with buying and selling? Why would you need to commit a transgression to buy and sell? Doesn't make sense. All right. And then you have the old breakdown where Esau will mark you if you're not following his philosophies or whatever, and what he'll do is he'll place an embargo on you where you can't do trade, you can't do commerce with him. So that means that pretty much leaves the children of Israel out, because they always break it down. He calls all, both small nations and great nations, rich nations and poor nations, free nations and bond nations. So it doesn't have anything to do with you individually. That's one of the most retarded breakdowns I've heard. Besides Johanna saying that, if you sleep with Edomite women, you got the MOTB, or Solomon had the mark of the beast. That's retarded, man. Because it says that he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor. That means people. Every individual soul are going to be tested with this whole thing. It's called the hour of temptation. It's going to try all the world. So how are you exempt from that? And how are there going to be men that's going to be beheaded because they refuse to receive it and to worship the image of the beast? Make that make sense. And if you still teaching that the image is the portrait of Cesare Borgia, then where are they making people bow down to that image and putting people under the guillotine if you don't do it? Where at? Where is that happening at? Or when is that going to happen? So a lot of you dudes, man, you got a lot to answer for. All right? All All you you funny moving prophets out there, self-proclaimed prophets. The scriptures say there's a conspiracy of our prophets like wolves ravening the prey. It just might very well be that a lot of you dudes, you took that purse. You sold out for the bag, man. Because taking the gift blindeth the eyes of the wise that they cannot reprove. You under some type of muzzle. So, hey, man, and that's and all these things is why, you know, brothers refuse to get with these other camps. Now, sure, you know, if we see them out of you know, just the scriptures say to be at peace with all men if it be possible. So, you know, we'll say shalom, but we're not gonna commune with you. We're not gonna break bread, and we're not gonna fellowship. Like you had Aishu PK, was that the year before last, if I'm not mistaken, where they were calling out for all camps, including Great Millstone. Great Millstone even got an invite, but there was Tazariak was calling for all camps to come to their Passover, and we was like, no, we pass on that. We pass on that invite. You know, that wasn't finna happen. There's too much you know, disagreements, man. Too much you know, we're at a disagreement. Yeah, Khan. Yeah, this is just basically like a part 2, you know, to the impromptu. You know, my camera cut off right in the midst of, you know, doing my impromptu. So Salakia, but you know, I just want to you know, prove the point, you know, with the latest, you know, situation dealing with these different camps when it comes to the MOTB. And it's more obvious than ever what it is, man. If you can't see it at this point, you definitely either sold out or the Lord, like, he drastically blinded you. All right, and that's why, you know, we never came together, you know, with these other groups like that, man. The scriptures say to you know, have no fellowship with darkness, but rather reprove them. And as long as you teaching lies, you know, these wayward doctrines, you're still in darkness, man. You're blinded. All right, so that's why we never came together, man. And a lot of people think that we're causing dissension, but those people that feel that way, you don't understand the scriptures, man. All right, we gotta rebuke and stay on their head, man, and make sure the ones who's following us are on point. All right, but anyway, you know, this is just you know, just basically a closing out, because the video had you know, it stops, you know, because I was in the midst of a call, you know, and it stopped the recording. So now I'm just you know, putting the finishing, you know, words, you know, giving some finishing words on it. But Lord willing, y'all brothers and few sisters were edified. Call Lawyer Mullah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Shalom.